When people ask what you shoot with, you would normally say Canon, Nikon, Sony, or Fuji. Well, today my answer is Apple. I'm doing a portrait shoot with my model friend Tori using just the iPhone. Now, normally I would have access to my Sony, a tripod, maybe some assistants, my Broncolor lights and some modifiers, but today all I've got for me is ProRAW in portrait mode. So it's actually a really good opportunity for me to compare the two because you can't use ProRAW in portrait mode at the same time. While I frame and Tori poses, Apple does everything else in this first step. The iPhone does its computational photography magic when it goes from camera to ProRAW. And then it's my turn in the second step to run some photography Photoshop magic from ProRAW to the final image. And as for portrait mode, to be blunt, I prefer ProRAW over portrait mode. The artificial depth of field is leagues ahead of previous iterations of the iPhone, but it's still artificial to me. I'd rather compromise on the depth of field and just focus on good composition, pose, and color grading. ProRAW is still the best choice for this, giving me flexibility to push the pixels further. So did ProRAW negate the need for a tripod and lighting? Well, it's difficult to have a concrete answer to this because the benefits of Smart HDR and other Apple computational photography most definitely helps maintain clear detail without the need of a tripod and lighting support. You save loads of time in comparison to a fully equipped shoot, but it's no true replacement for anything other than maybe natural light portraiture. It's also interesting to note that every exposure is slightly different to one another, even under the same shooting conditions, because it's essentially guessing the scene each time you push the button. Even in a consistent environment, the results are often very inconsistent. So what do you think? Do you like the shots coming out of this camera? Personally, had I not disclaimed these to be shot on the iPhone, I don't think most people would know, especially if they're viewing these on their smartphone. But if you enlarge, print, or crop these shots down, it starts to fall apart quickly. Still, this really impressed me today, and it goes to show that if you have some experience as a photographer, you can shoot some really awesome things with this technology.